Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and today I want to break down exactly how much money in stocks do you need to take care of every single bill you actually have. Now, by the way, I think the whole goal as an investor is to basically say, hey, I need this much money to basically go ahead and retire very early. And usually that's going to be maybe 500K, maybe a million, maybe 2 million, maybe even more, depending on your lifestyle. But the point is usually that amount is going to be massive. So the point is this, okay? Instead of focusing on this big amount that you're not really making progress towards, the idea is why don't we focus on smaller things like small bills here and there, and that way we can see progress actually happening. For example, it's kind of like playing a game with the maximum level is 100, but until you get to 100, you don't unlock anything. You don't get new characters. You don't get new skills. You don't get any achievements, and you don't even get any feedback saying, hey, you are making progress. For example, oh my gosh, I want to get to $1 million, but I'm at $500. I don't really see any progress until I hit 1 million, and that might be in 20 years or 30 years. So the point is, instead of doing that, let's focus on small milestones. That way we know for a fact we're making progress, because basically every single year our investments are paying off another bill. And that's what we're going to break down today. How much do you need to pay one bill? How much do you need overall? And what is the entire strategy when it comes to investing? By the way, this video again is beginner friendly and it's going to be step by step. And by the way, everything I say in this video is going to be linked down below also in the description. Now, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so you should also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. On top of that, also destroy the like button. Now, the very first thing is this, guys, okay? To know exactly where we want to go, we need to know exactly what we want, obviously, but more importantly, where we are today. And then develop exactly a strategy to how we track that progress between where we are today and also where we want to go. So that's basically what we're going to build first in step one. So for step one, all we want to know is where exactly we are today, to then go ahead and track exactly where we actually want to go and what we actually want to achieve. So the first step is, hey, where are you today? How much money do you make? And also, what are all of your expenses? And make a very detailed list. Now, right here, guys, is my entire list of all of my expenses right here. And I made a list on Excel. For example, what is my rent? What is my food, my phone bill, my dates, my fun, my gym? All of my expenses are right here. So you basically want to create a list of all of your expenses and the amount of money you actually pay towards them, and then add all of them up right here. Now, by the way, if you guys don't want to create your own Excel sheet, that's fine, because basically I already created one for you. So just go ahead and download it right now and put all your information inside of it. On top of that, if you guys don't want to do that, just grab your handy book or whatever you have and a piece of paper and write down basically all your expenses on one side, how much money you spend, and the totals at the bottom. That is all you have to do to know exactly where you are today. And again, I want you guys to be very, very detailed, okay? Put in every single bill you have and how much money you spend on it. And by the way, guys, notice here that I don't include any debt, because basically, one, I don't have any debt, but on top of that, debt is not something that your investments should be paying for in the first place, unless it's a mortgage or something like that. And if you do have one of those, you want to add that in here. Instead of putting in rent, you put in your mortgage, and that way you know exactly how much money you're going to need to pay that off later. So now basically, that is step one, knowing exactly where you are. Basically, how much money do you make? What are your expenses? How much you spend every single month? But most importantly, once you know exactly what all your bills are, how much it costs you per month, I want you to go ahead and multiply them by 12 to find out exactly how much it costs you every single year. So in this case, guys, okay, my bills are pretty simple, okay? I only pay around $20 per month per rent, so multiply by 12, that's around $2,400. Also, my phone bill, I pay around $133 per month. So in reality, for 3 people, by the way, that's around $1,596. On top of that, my internet bill, $80, that's around $960. And by the way, guys, some of these bills, although they're pretty small, you're gonna see the big effect they have, because basically at the end of the year, they're going to add up to a ton of money. So make sure when you're looking at this, ask yourself, hey, do I really need this bill right here? Should I cut it out? Do I need it? If the answer is no, go ahead and cut it out. And by the way, again, if you guys want this sheet right here, just download it down below in the description, and that way you can follow along with me at home, or just write things down and then put them into the description later on when you're done with this video. Now make sure guys that once you're done listing all of your expenses, monthly and both annual costs, make sure to add them up at the bottom, okay? In my case, I spend around $11,496 every single year, but that's about it. I rarely spend any money, okay, which is actually pretty cool for me. So basically, once we have all this, we have to move on to step number 2. And that's basically, now that we know exactly where we are, how much we make, how much we spend exactly, well, where do we actually want to go? How much money do we need in our investments to cover all of these expenses? Well, the answer is pretty simple. And all you have to do is basically understand, hey, what is my portfolio size and how much money am I going to take out every single year? In my case, I follow something called the 4% rule, which basically means in English, I'm going to take out 4% of my portfolio every single year and leave 96% to actually grow every single year. That way, I don't run out of money anytime soon, at least in the next like 33 years or so. And those are the statistics, okay? So if I have 100K, I take out 4%, which is around like $4,000, and I leave 96K in there to allow it to grow. And because my portfolio grows at around 10%, I'm always having that money grow and grow and grow, and I'm never actually going down in the amount of money I actually have, which is actually a pretty cool thing. So the math is pretty simple. Again, let's go here, guys, okay? Here's my Excel sheet. If I spend every single year $11,496, but I know for a fact that, hey, I'm only going to need 4% of my portfolio to actually get to this amount right here. Well, all you have to do to actually do the 4% rule is basically grab the total amount that you're going to need for your expenses and divide it by 4%. So in this case, let's go to my iPhone. By the way, very simple math here, not trigonometry, not pre-calc, none of that stuff. The answer is just go here and type in your total annual cost of all of your expenses. In my case, that's around $11,496 every single year I spend on expenses, divided by 0.04%. Don't forget the 0.04%, okay? That is how this works. And when you click equals, this means I'm going to need $287,000 and $400 to basically cover all of my expenses. However, for some of you guys, because again, guys, okay, although I make around 30 to 40K every single month, I still live with my mom, help her with expenses here and there. But the answer is I have very low expenses for a 23-year-old in New York, okay? But the answer is for you guys, it might be around $50,000 that you actually need every single year to take care of all your expenses. Or for example, let's say 40K. In reality, just again, divide it by 0.04, and that tells me how much I need in my portfolio to actually be able to retire and cover all of my bills. In this case, I need around $1 million, and when I take out 4%, which is multiplied by 0.04, it's going to give me $40,000. And that is how this works. Again, all you want to do is add up all your expenses and then divide that by 0.04%, which will then give you the total amount you need in your investment portfolio to actually go ahead and retire by only withdrawing 4% every single year. Very simple math, and that is how it works. However, guys, okay, if you need, let's be honest here, if you need $1 million to retire in the next 10 to 25 to 30 years, whatever you choose, okay, the answer is that number is massive. It's so big. So if all you're doing is basically investing $500 a month, well, you might say, well, I'm not really making a difference. It's going to take way too long. So the point is, instead of focusing on that, let's focus on every single bill and how much we need to retire from each and every single bill. That way, we actually make progress every single year or every other year. And that way we don't get demotivated, because basically $1 million is definitely a ton of money. So in this case, guys, okay, here is the third step. Well, okay, this is not a third step. Here is the third step So this entire idea right here, the milestones, okay? And all you want to do again is go on Excel and just go ahead and expand this right here, because basically I already did all the work, okay? And by the way, just download this sheet again. That way you don't have to create this thing all over again, okay? But in this case, okay, let's say, again, here's the math, okay? I need $287,000 to actually go ahead and retire from all my bills, okay? But in reality, let's say I don't want to focus on that big number or $1 million. Let's say I just want to focus on each and every single bill to see exactly the progress I'm actually making here. So start from the smallest to the biggest. So in this case, I pay every single month around $15 for my entire gym bill, okay? $15. It costs me every single year $180. But in reality, I'm going to need around $4,500 for my dividends or my entire 4% rule to actually handle that bill for me, and I don't no longer need to pay for it anymore, okay? That's the idea. So basically, if I have $4,500 in my investment account today, I can go ahead and pay for this $15 a month bill, or for example, a $180 bill every single year. And basically, I know for a fact, hey, I'm actually making progress, which is actually pretty cool. And also, $10 a month for my gym app, okay, which is basically just a trainer app. In this case, I only need to have around $3,000 to actually take care of this $120 expense every single year. And for example, my rent, which is actually a big one here, okay, well, my rent, I only need around $60,000 to go ahead and take care of my $2,400 expense for my rent. But in this case, let's say I had $1,000 a year for rent. In reality, I would need around $300,000 a year to go ahead and take care of my rent expense. Again, this is massive. So that's why we want to go ahead and just track the little things first and then work our way up towards the big things. And that's how it should work. That way you know for a fact, hey, although right now I'm level 0, when I get to 3K, I can take care of this bill, then 5K, this bill, 10K, this bill. But that way, you're always making progress towards your big goal of having this amount of money here, 287K, to basically take care of all of your expenses. Now, there is one more thing I want to give you guys, okay? Because although it's great to know exactly, hey, here's my expenses, how much I spend every single year. Also, how much do I need to hold my portfolio? And on top of that, how much each and every single bill actually costs me. And by the way, guys, one more thing here that I do want to mention here is that basically, when you're doing this, you're going to realize that basically some bills are just not worth having. So for example, for me, that's my phone bill. Every single month, my phone bill, I pay around $133, and that's with T-Mobile. In my case, if I transfer over, for example, over to Mint Mobile, a competitor, I only pay around $30 for my line. So if I go from $133 and I need $40,000 to take care of this bill, in reality, if I just have $30 here, I only need $9,000 to go ahead and take care of this bill. And that's what I'm going to do pretty soon. But the answer is, you know, when you're looking at this, some bills, honestly, are not going to be worth it. So the answer is go ahead and either cancel them or go ahead and get a competitor for a cheaper price, or for example, try to get a massive discount, because basically having 40K for a phone bill makes absolutely no sense. So I'm basically gonna go ahead and lower this down with Mint Mobile and get $30 per month for unlimited internet, and that way I'm good to go, I'm covered, and I'm not paying a ton of money every single month for a phone bill, okay? That's the answer. But what I wanted to show you guys is this, okay? Tell me, if I know exactly how much money I need as a whole, right, which basically for me, $287,000, how do I know how much money I need to invest every single month to actually get to this goal in a very timely fashion? Well, the answer is, guys, very simple. All you have to do is go on Google and type in savings goal calculator. By the way, let's do that right now, because although I have it open here, I can just go again on Google, google.com again, and type in, hey, savings goal calculator. I spelled calculator wrong, I think, but who cares? It's not like you guys are watching me, right? And just click right here, the third link that says www.investor.gov, and click this link right here, okay? Once the link is actually clicked, well, guess what happens? That's basically what you want to do here, okay? It's pretty simple. And what you want to do, well, I just clicked here. What you want to do, again, savings goal calculator, is type in right here the amount of money you actually need as a whole. In my case, I need to have $287,000 and $400 to actually cover all of my bills. A lot of money, I know, but again, we broke it down by covering each and every single bill and start the smallest. That way, we actually build momentum. But in this case, let's say I start off with $1. Again, you can't put in zero because basically it won't work. But the answer is your initial investment is going to be the money you're actually going to start with. And by the way, I recommend you invest 10% of whatever you make every single time you get paid, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. In this case, let's say I start off with $1 and that's all I have, okay? But I want to get to my goal in around maybe, for example, 10 years. And I recommend you do anywhere from 10 years to 25 years to 30 years. That way you know exactly what the difference actually is in time. And on top of that, I'm going to make an average return of around, let's say, for example, 10% with my portfolio. By the way, if you want my portfolio, I also have a link for that below with M1 Finance. And when you sign up, you can invest in my portfolio directly. It's actually pretty cool also. But in this case, guys, I have all the information I need. I want to get to this goal right here, 287. I'm going to start with $1. I want to get to that in 10 years. And I'm going to get an average of around 10% return every single year, my profit, right? And now let's click calculate. Well, it says here to get to my goal in 10 years, all I need is to invest around $1,502 every single month. And by the way, that might seem like a lot of money. So then what I do is this, okay, whatever the amount is for you, just grab it, $1,502, and divide it, for example, by 4 weeks. That way you know exactly how much you need to invest every single week to actually get to your goal in 10 years. So in my case, divided by 4, I just need to invest $375.50 to actually get to my goal a lot faster. And that's basically how it actually works. Now, let's say I said, for example, hey, Tommy, that's actually way too much money for me. Well, instead of doing 10 years, just say, for example, well, I want to do it in 25 years, okay? I love my job, I don't mind working there, and I don't really want to get there so fast, okay? In reality, just click calculate. And again, I only need now $243 every single month invested. And again, if I break that down even further, okay, by dividing it by, guess what, by 4, well, if all I need is $287 every single month divided by 4, I only need to invest around $71 every single week, and that way I get to my goal a lot faster. And if you want to go even more into detail, divide it by 7, and daily I just have to invest $10. And in 25 years, I'll get to my goal to actually retire a lot faster. But by the way, guys, this only works if I want to live with my mom for the rest of my life. So in reality, my real numbers are not really this for the long term, but this is basically my real numbers today because I basically live with my mom today. But in reality, my goal is to have my dividends cover around $40,000 of the expenses. And again, just divide the expenses divided by 0.04, and I need to have around $1 million. And in my case, I want to get to this goal in around 7 years or 4 years by investing over $20,000 every single month. And that's what I want to get to eventually. But for right now, this is the real math. So overall, guys, all you have to do is know where you are, your expenses, how much money you make, the annual cost, and also the monthly cost. And then also, hey, well, what is going to be my entire portfolio size that I actually need? Just divide your cost by 0.04% and that will give you the answer. And then lastly, because that's so big, just break it down into little chunks by trying to pay off small bills here and there every single year. And that way you get to your goal, that big amount, yes, but every single year, you're actually making progress. And that's basically what this video is about. And again, if you want to download this sheet, there's a link down below, and that way you can actually get it. And if it's not down below, it's going to be in the pinned comment down below. I'll see you guys later. Comment down below and let me know if it was helpful. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe if you're new, and also notification bell so you get notified. And if you want to text me or talk to me, start my Patreon link down below, or send me a DM on Instagram at TommyBryson. And on top of that, if you want to see a video on how I invest and what I invest into, here's a video right here. And click my face right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.